When you are fearless, there are 7 critical symptoms that becomes inevitable. I call them 7 physical symptoms of inner fearlessness. 7 physical symptoms of inner fearlessness. It's possible for people to claim they are fearless and inside they are actually fearful. But if truly you are fearless, if you have no fear in the face of storms, there are 7 physical symptoms of your inner fearlessness. Inner fearlessness in the face of outward danger is the direct result of looking up to God in absolute trust and dependence. However, as a believer, your inner fearlessness can be tangibly evaluated. Beloved, when you are fearless, number 1, your actions in the face of trouble and problems are marked by calmness and devoid of panic. Your actions are calculated, strategic, and anointed. They are not actions that are born out of frustrations, environmental eventualities, human ungodly opinion, and desperation. Fearlessness gives you the option and the freedom of taking actions that are in alignment with the will and purpose of God, no matter the urgency of the issue at hand. Fearlessness gives you the opportunity to escape the trap of demonically suggested but physically attractive and reasonable steps that take you out of divine direction and divine plan. Number 2, when you are fearless, your language is not a reflection of your physically hopeless and dangerous circumstances, but your language becomes a reflection of your conviction in the written promise and provision of God. Your language is not a reflection of your frustration. Your language is not a reflection of your human powerlessness, but your language becomes a reflection of your personal understanding of divine omnipotence. In times of panic, in times of trouble and crisis, you have learned to speak out of revelation. Your vocabulary reflects unshakable faith, boldness, and confidence. Your utterances are consistent with the Word of God and with your understanding of the power of God. You freely express your conviction in the limitless possibilities in God, regardless of the reality of the limitation seemingly imposed by the immediate predicament. Number 3, when you are fearless, your physical look radiates confidence. It radiates godly excitement and hope. Fearlessness takes your physical appearance beyond the boundary and burden of anxiety, worry, hopelessness, and shame. Your face lightens up your entire body and life, giving no room for the entanglement of darkness and despair. You carry the countenance of a victor and not the gloominess of a victim. Number 4, when you are fearless, your emotion becomes stable and your mood balanced and predictable. You are not oscillating between excitement and depression. You do not have a negative feeling of loneliness, neglect, and divine abandonment. You refuse to become an object of human pity. You do not allow the obvious pressure and stress of storms and crises to provoke a negative emotion of offenses, bitterness, jealousy, unforgiveness, revenge, and anger in you. You handle your personal disappointment in people and especially human betrayal in the season of trouble and challenges with maturity. Number 5, when you are fearless, brethren, your steps and moves reflect organization. The crisis of the moment cannot disorganize you. You can have a sound sleep even when the storms of life are threatening to sink your destiny boat. Your steps and moves are strategic moves that neutralize the moves of the devil and that of your enemies. You are never at the mercy of the storms, but you make moves that bring the storm under divine control. Number 6, when you are fearless, your personal conviction of God's ultimate intervention, regardless of the hopelessness of the trouble, is very passionate and deep. You are convinced that even if you are abandoned by everybody, God will definitely show up for you. Also, your thoughts about the current storm are very clear. They are positive thoughts of victory and celebration. You do not entertain any negative or ambiguous thoughts. You enjoy God's perfect peace because your mind is stayed on Him. And lastly, brethren, when you are fearless, your prayer becomes a confident request of a legitimate son from a loving and a responsible father. As you pray, you confidently anticipate an unfailing divine response. Your prayer time are communion times with God. They are not complaint time against God. Your prayer reflects gratitude for God's involvement in your life, irrespective of the current problems and the present storm.